So, good morning everyone and welcome. Before we start into today's session, I would like to take a couple of minutes to introduce you to Global HR Community. So, Global HR Community is a digital platform for people managers. It's a vibrant, purpose driven ecosystem built for people who are passionate about people management. It's a community that brings together HR professionals, people managers, business leaders, entrepreneurs, and educators, and even all students. And all is united by one powerful goal to reimagine how we work, learn, grow as individuals, as organizations, and as society. Founded by some of the most respected names in the HR world, Dr. S.V. Nathan was the former CHR of Deloitte, Shrikant Tarimaditaya, who is ex-CHRO EY, and Ramesh Ranjan was the former CHRO at Schneider Electric, India. Within a year, we have grown over to 2,200 plus members with leading organizations like Britannia, Machani Tribes, Quest Corp, Natural Remedies, T Connectivity, and many more joining us as corporate members. We are proud to be ranked among the top 10 HR communities in the world by LinkedIn, with over 7,800 plus followers. And recently, we were honored with the India 5000 Best MSME Award. So, whether you are an HR veteran or people first leader, or just someone who believes in the power of human potential, there is a space for you at GHRC. So, thank you. With that, I will hand over to Ritika to introduce Varsha.
Pratik, can you please play the video that we had?
Mm.
Welcome to GHRC, a global digital community platform for people managers. At GHRC, we believe in three guiding principles: connect, learn, and grow. Through meaningful connections, continuous learning, and opportunities for growth, we support people managers worldwide in making an impact within their organizations. Under Discover, GHRC offers personalized assessments to help you answer the question, "Who am I?" Our assessments guide you toward a deeper understanding of your strengths, areas for growth, and how you can lead more effectively. In Connect, GHRC brings together a global network of people managers, thought leaders, and innovators. Through our platform, you can build lasting relationships, exchange ideas, and collaborate with peers. In Learn, GHRC provides access to the GHRC Academy and a comprehensive upskilling platform featuring 1,800 plus skills and 150,000 courses across all domains. GHRC supports your journey to grow through our job and internship opportunities, vibrant forums, and engaging gamification features. Connect with peers, explore new roles, and earn rewards while advancing your career and achieving your goals. With Contribute, GHRC enables you to give back and make an impact. Engage in collaborative research, participate in hackathons, and share your expertise through coaching and mentorship. Let's hear what our community members say about us.
If you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. So this is the essence of the GHRC, Global HR Community.
We have been a part of GHRC for a while, and it's a vibrant community of like-minded professionals, practitioners. So it's been great to be a part of this journey for the past couple of months, and looking forward to learning and sharing, having a story of growth with GHRC. Yeah.
I'm really grateful and thankful to be a part of this community. So unlike many communities I've seen, one thing that really caught my attention here is you talk about being a good human being, you talk about people first, and everything else follows from that.
So I feel GHRC is the right community and right platform for everyone to explore further, beyond you, so that you can learn and grow within the organization, or as an individual you'll grow personally. So that's what I see GHRC.
So, why should you join GHRC? As a member, you gain access to a global network of people managers, comprehensive assessments, cutting-edge resources in the GHRC Academy, job and internship listings, an active community, and opportunities to contribute through research and mentorship. GHRC is designed to support your career journey at every step. Join the global HR community today and take the next step in your leadership journey. Together, we're transforming people management worldwide.
So, hello all, I am Ritika and I work as a HR and event manager at GHRC. So, a big and warm welcome to all of you for joining us today at this exciting GHRC webinar. We are so glad you're here for what promises to be a game-changing conversation, the art and the science of influencing without authority. In today's fast-paced, ever-evolving workspaces, influence is no longer tied to the titles or positions. It's about connection, trust, empathy, and strategic thinking. And we have got just the right person to take us deep into this world. So we are honored to have with us Varsha Agarwal, a self-made industry leader with over 25 years of experience. With over 25 years of experience spanning marketing, sales, emerging technologies, inclusive HR, talent acquisition, L&D, DEIB, and philanthropy. She is the founder and CEO of Lenostan, a seasoned speaker, mentor, and consultant in the leadership and inclusive space. She serves as a business growth advisor for startup incubated at IIT Delhi and IIT Madras. She is also the state vice president of WICCI Machine Learning, AI, Research and Development Council, where she works passionately to empower and support women leaders in tech. And she is also the founder of Together We Can, a strong network of like-minded MNCs who have come together to collaborate and create real impact in the inclusive leadership space. Varsha has delivered over 70 keynote sessions, led 100 plus strategy focused workshops and consults, and invested 5,000 plus hours, impacting over 4,000 lives, especially from the underrepresented communities. Her voice has resonated in spaces like IIT Delhi, IIT Madras, Adobe, NHRD, Symbiosis, NASCOM, and Women Who Code, to name a few. She brings a wealth of knowledge, deep insights, and lived experience that we are all about to benefit from. So let's get in, start with it. So over to you, Varsha.
Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for the warm welcome, Ritika. I really appreciate that, and to the entire GHRC team. And a very, very good morning to all of you. You are here on a Saturday morning, which shows up that how much we mean our commitment to our growth and to everybody's growth. So thank you so much. I was hearing the introductions of some of the people, and it's just so great to hear the wealth and the breadth of the knowledge which this particular group, which we have right now, today with us. If we just see the average of around 28 people, and even if we just take around 10 years of average experience over here, it's like 280 years of experience is what we have in this particular group right now, whatever we are addressing. So thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate it. If you can let me know if you are able to share, if you are able to see my screen. Is it?
Yeah, Varsha, we can see the screen.
Yeah, sure. Okay. So I know that all of you have already provided your introductions, which is a professional introduction on what you do. Now here we will do something very different, which is one of the very important principles of influencing as well. It's getting to know the personality, getting to know the attitude, getting to know the likes and dislikes of the people also a lot. So there is a quick game which we have, which I have designed. Whatever you have, right, in your purse, in your wallet, or near to you, now get that thing out, get that one thing out, and then you can just tell the story behind that particular thing. And because we have 28 people, we obviously will not be able to do for all. So this is an opportunity for the people who want to come out and get the limelight. So first of all, let me get the limelight and I'll get started. I'll probably share one very small story with a particular thing, and it will also actually show you on what do I mean by with this particular game. Good? Can I get a thumbs up or a yes? Can everybody unmute and talk here, Ritika, or is it? I think so, right? Because everybody
they
was
all can
providing their
talk.
introductions. So please unmute and talk, or please raise your hand. And because we want this to be 100% interactive meeting and interactive discussion. Sure. Because I'm sharing, I might not be able to see all of you, but I'll stop sharing for now so that we can see who all are raising hand. And I would love that if you are talking, then you can please share your video. Okay, if you can. So let me get started. If you can pin me so that people can see the wider picture actually, so that would be great. And please pin the people who are talking as well and who are providing your introduction. Please raise your hand. We will be able to give opportunity to, I think, 3 people. So who wants to go, or who wants to raise your hand? By the time you are preparing, let me get started. So what I got here is this particular small purse, okay, which which is there, and the story behind it is I was there in Kumbh Mela, which I think probably most of you know. It happened in Prayagraj, comes once in 12 years or 144 years or whatever it is. So I was really very excited being there. And I was carrying 2 purses. So one was this and one was something else. And one was other small purse. The other small purse actually, because the thought process behind that was that in other purse, I should be having the big cash, because we would need to spend a lot in there, given there was plethora of the people and there was chaos all over. And in the second purse, I had my ID, which was this. I had my IDs and the petty cash. Okay. So now everything was over, and we were about to catch we were heading to catch the flight. It was me and one of my other friend, Madhu. We two were traveling. Both the purses were there with Madhu. Okay. And so before we head out to the airport, we wanted to check out, and I wanted to get my other purse to pay for the room. And what I realized is that I don't have the purse at all. Both of us just panicked like anything, because where is it gone? Where is it gone? So where is it? And in that time, I didn't even check that do I have a single purse, or did I lose both the purses? I didn't even realize that. And we just panicked that how will I get to the flight now? I don't have any ID card, and how will we pay for the room rent? Because the UPI is still not very, very common. Actually, in there, they all prefer cash. And there was chaos all over. Went to the room 3 times to check all the bags 3 times and 4 times and all that, but did not find that particular purse, right? But the thing which we find is still was this purse, which actually had my ID and which had the petty cash. Madhu paid for the room rent, and I still was able to get to the flight very easily, and I did not lose a lot. The reason is because a lot of times whenever we were going there and roaming around, the hard cash or the big notes only was spent. And it was an unnecessary panic which I created, right? Which actually we lost almost 45 minutes in that particular panic, and we were quite late for the flight also. So what do we check from this? Or what do we learn from this one? In the moment of the panic and challenges, we freak out so much that we forget all the opportunities and all the solutions which are just there next door itself. So what I learned again and is how do we, even in the panic situation and even in the challenging situation, can we just keep calm? In our corporate world also, right? There are so many challenges, and we think that world is falling apart completely. We are going to and then we are going to go to hell. It's not working out, nothing. And we just think negative. But that is not the case always. If we think calmly, we will definitely find the solutions. So that's a small story which I wanted to share. I hope you got to know a good side and a slightly more constructive side also of me. Constructive side means that the things which I need to improve on. And this is what we say, that being vulnerable is the most important thing, to know the people better. And that is something which actually forms strong relations. So now I want 3 people at least who have raised their hand to go ahead. Who wants to go first? Anybody who wants to go first? No one. It's a pin drop silence, like in the class, right? We say finger on your lips. Anybody? Okay, Sujata?
Ma'am, I just joined, so probably I'll wait for a minute, or if you can.
Sure. Yeah, please. Anybody else?
Hey, hi Varsha, Reshma here.
Hello, Reshma. Hello.
I sorry, I can't be on video,
No problem.
but,
Okay.
yeah. So actually, I have this book of Indra Nooyi, her biography with me. So that was the nearest thing I could get. Okay. There is no story behind it, but recently, me and my 9-year-old son, we took the subscription of a library. Okay, so every week we both go and he chooses his book and I choose mine. So day before yesterday we went and I found this book and I was tempted to read. So I got this. Uh, I had just finished 15 pages and it's still not finished. Okay, but I have a target to finish it by today. And probably after that, I could be able to explain more about the book. But my son has finished his.
Oh,
So
wow.
normally, yeah. So we do a kind of a competition between both of us every time when we get these books. So we do a competition and he finishes his and I try to finish mine. But every time he wins. So and I lose.
Very nice. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. Anybody else? Sujata? Sujata, I think you wanted, or anyone else while Sujata is still taking time. Anyone else?
If you can just
Okay,
tell me
Sujata,
a
yeah.
minute, the context, ma'am, I'll be able to respond. Yeah.
Okay, so the context is that we are giving opportunity to 3 people to introduce themselves or just share a story. It's not actually an introduction. Whatever you find near to you, anything. So for example, I shared the story behind this particular person. Okay, so it's an opportunity to get to know, being vulnerable, know the other side of the people and get to know them better.
So it's more like an icebreaker.
Yeah.
So it's me, Sujata. I am a practicing chartered accountant. If I have to put it in short, I'm an entrepreneur now. Like, I have a team of about 25 people. The reason why I became a chartered accountant itself was to being on my own. You know, this thought came to me about 20 years ago, 25 years ago, when I went for my first job. When I went for my first job, something clicked, something glued onto my mind saying, I don't want to be an employee. You wouldn't believe, after marriage, I started my CA. I went to US after marriage. I led a very happy life of 10 years as a housewife. Meanwhile, I was studying. The minute I qualified as a chartered accountant, I started my own practice. So I think the thought inside us only makes us to work. And today I'm a very happy entrepreneur and I want to create more jobs. 1,000 is the number in my mind. So
Very nice.
That's my goal, to create 1,000 jobs.
Awesome, Sujata. Thank you so much. And Ruchi is saying kudos to you. Thank you, Sujata. Really appreciate. Okay, Rekha has raised her hand and this is our last one. So yes, Rekha, go ahead. If you would like
Sorry,
to
I'm
share.
not dressed for it. I just got the invite now and joined the webinar. So keeping my camera off. Sorry about that. Good morning to all the ladies out there. I'm basically a HR person from Bangalore. Started my own firm way back in 2003, and I offer different kinds of services. Leadership hiring is one of the main things, and I also support people on the women-centric laws like POSH and maternity, etc. I'm a postgraduate in law from National Law School, so which is why the interest in legal things. My take on one piece on whatever I want to talk about community is that I recently attended a HR conclave. I was one person who was totally against outreach and talking about brand building, etc. Because I come from a very conservative Indian Brahmin South Indian family where we say that apna dabba khud nahi marte. People should recognize you. You shouldn't speak about yourself. So I've lived with that thought for uh, almost 40 plus years. And to change that mindset, it took a long time. And there was this ego inside also, initially I always had people coming to me for work, etc., 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 and always I was getting things unasked for. So recently I realized that outreach is very important, and the HR conclave that I recently attended, uh, I met two fantastic ladies. One was a author of a book, a HR thought leader with about, again, 20 plus, 25 plus years of experience. She spoke about her book and her experiences. And I just bought this book yesterday. It says it is Between You and Me by Aparna Sharma. She is talking about 30 ordinary people that she met, no big names,
Awesome.
but then what she learned from each one of them. Everything is different. It's a
Very nice.
wonderful book. It's just about 300 rupees. I think everybody should buy it and read. It's Between You and Me by Aparna Sharma. The second lady I met there was a speaker there, a retired IAS and ICS officer. She had come there at the age of 77. And she was talking about her experiences of how things were in a man's world when she started way back 50 years. Yeah. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Rekha. I hugely appreciate. Thank you. Okay, great. So now let's deep dive into that. I hope that with this, you have learned something that only formal introductions are at times not building the deep connections. But the things which you probably know about me a little more, which is that I'm getting better at handling situations when things are not in control. You have learned something about Sujata for that how she has an entrepreneurial mindset. We learn two people that for their love for books and for networking. Now, let's actually deep dive into some principles. Yes. So there are a few things which we will talk about. The first thing is, I hope you're able to see my screen. I'll probably switch between screen and this. So there are, it's called influence infusion. And generally there are around 6 or 7 principles actually in that, but in the interest of time, I have just chosen 2 or 3 principles. So our first principle for influence infusion is building rapport. And that is something which we spoke about just now. So that was a true demonstration of how do we build rapport. Now, if somebody wants to talk to Rekha, they know how to strike the conversation, right? They can talk about the books, they can talk about the networking, they can talk about how the world was there earlier and how the world is there now. If somebody wants to talk to, sorry, forgot the name, please forgive me. But if somebody wants to talk to the to the lady who is writing or who is actually reading the book of Indra Nooyi, you know how to strike that conversation. If you want to talk to me, you know how to strike the conversation that, hey, how the world is happening for you. Are you doing better from handling situation? What are the certain things which you are applying in your life to come over to overcome those kind of situations? And that is something which is important when we talk about building rapport. The rapport building does not happen in a day. It does happen over a course of few days or few months when we talk about the common things which are there between the two people. And for that, it is important to know what are the interests, the likes and dislikes, what's the world around that particular person, right? Anybody wants to share any story of what is, if you apply some techniques or if you apply certain things in your life to strike a conversation or to build a rapport? You can raise your hand and talk if you want.
Can I go for it?
Yes, who actually?
Rekha.
Okay, Rekha, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. See, recently I realized that, this was again another self-realization or knowledge that I have gained recently. I always thought that, to be uh, in a public place, suppose you are in a speaker position or you're out there in a place where there are a lot of C-suite people, etc. I always thought that, you had to be dressed the Western way to get noticed or whatever. And for me, I am a very desi girl. And in office, when we had the casuals, it was salwar kameez, casuals, usuals, normals, outie, day, nighty, everything is salwar kameez for me. So I always was wondering, like, will I fit out there? But I realized again through these meetups that I have been attending in the last 2-3 years, you get a lot of like-minded people when you dress a particular way. I always go in a sari.
Yeah.
That too, preferably a cotton sari or probably a sari which has not more than 2 or 3 colors. And when I enter, even when I'm signing, people ask me, ma'am, are you the speaker here today? Or,
True.
there is that special attention. So be yourself and still you can, be special. So your USP is your USP. There is nothing like fashion or trend or anything. I think, and I met a lot of people who came and told me that also. I wear a sari because I get like-minded people. She says, this lady came to me and said that she felt I was very approachable because I was in a sari, she was in a sari. We were almost in a similar kind of a sari.
True.
So she
Yeah.
said, somewhere she said that the thought process or the way we think may be same. So we 5 ladies like that, we got together, over lunch.
Yeah.
And it became a big time connection, professional connection afterwards.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's true, right? Building rapport is just something which we have to talk to each other and not just exchanging the business cards. So what I have seen in these days, right, in most of the networking sessions, we are not connecting with the people at all. We are actually connecting with the business cards. People are exchanging business cards and then we feel that the networking is done. No, the rapport building does not happen that way. The rapport building happens when we talk about the challenges, what the other person appreciates, what the other person likes or dislikes, and then we talk about each other. So I also wear sari multiple times and I love it. And I know many people, right, who actually wear saris, and that's a good way or a great way to strike a conversation as well. So thank you so much, Rekha, for that. Let's move on. Our other principle is leveraging no. Anybody heard about this? Leveraging no? And how it can help? Okay. So leveraging no.
No has a special power when we say yes, we say yes to many other associated things which are implied. So it's a kind of a trap when we say yes.
Okay, sure. So leveraging no, actually, let
when
me
we
share.
say no, we filter out of many.
Yeah. So no, actually, yes, as you said, yeah, rightly, leveraging no actually has a very, very special, no actually itself has a very special power, because at times, because of hesitation or something, we don't say no, we always say yes, right? We don't even say that later, but always say yes. But leveraging no is little different here in terms of influencing. And it is about, let me tell you a story first, okay? The story goes like this. In US, there are multiple case studies, and actually it has happened in India, but it's just that I have a US story handy this time. So there was a juvenile court, and there were multiple, juveniles. I'm assuming everybody know those are the children which probably have committed something wrong, and they are in the juvenile homes. And the people from the juvenile wanted to take the children for a trip in a zoo in summer. So they went around into some markets and all, and they started asking the people, hey, would you like to be big brother or big sisters of the juveniles and take them out for a trip to zoo? And first of all, summer and super hot, as we know in US, it also gets super hot in certain places. That too on a Saturday, they got yes only from 16% of the people. So they said, okay, what to do now? We are only getting yes from 16% of the people, but we have many more children. So they changed the approach. Now what they said is that, hey, do you want to be big brother or big sister of the juvenile children and want to take them out every alternate weekend for a trip? If you can't do that, can you please take them out just for next weekend? And to their surprise, this time they got 83% people signed up. Ask is the same. The ask has not changed, but the way we are putting it across has changed. So the principle over here, or the influence principle over here, is that if you are looking for something, right? Let people think and say no for a bigger ask, and then you put the actual ask what you are looking for. And it is a psychologically proven thing that, first of all of us anyway hesitate to say no. But it's a psychologically proven thing that when people think that, oh, I need to do so much, and when they immediately hear that, no, I don't have to do so much, I just have to do this much, then they will definitely say yes. Or at least a much larger percentage of the people will definitely say yes. And that is how you can get more yeses and influence the people. That's the principle of leveraging no. Fine. Anybody wants to share any experience on this? Okay. So we'll move on in the interest of time. And the next principle is gain versus loss. Anybody knows about this one? Gain versus loss? Okay. So let me ask you to pick one statement from here. Which statement will you pick? The first one says, drink this brand of juice to feel more energized, improve your focus, and enhance your productivity. The other one says, without proper hydration and vitamins, you risk the feeling sluggish, losing focus, and having unproductive day. Which one is more appealing to you? Which one?
First one.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay, you can put your responses on chat as well. Are there any responses on chat, Ritika, if you can help?
Yes, Varsha, there are a couple of responses on chat.
1, 1, 2, 2, high impact of negative. Anybody else?
I would
Anybody
say
else? Somebody is saying 2. Anyone else?
Yeah, I think I'm Ashok here.
Hi, Ashok. Yeah.
So the first says that drink this brand. So somebody is suggesting, and it means that this is only the brand available in the market. Whereas second part is it gives a general or overall, broader perspective of that, of life, life learning lesson. So where people have multiple option and they can still complete those things which are required.
Okay, sure. Yeah, that's a different perspective to look at it. And thank you so much, Ashok, for that. Anyone else? In schools, lab works better.
I think the first one is a compelling one. No? They're saying, take my brand. There is no choice there. And when somebody tries to push something on you, you feel that there is some selling there. And the mind automatically will start looking for reasons why you don't want to do it. The second one is more open. So it's just a suggestion, take it or leave it. It's not pushy.
Yeah,
but
right.
it's a suggestion.
Yeah. And that's when people prefer more. Again, it's so all these principles, whatever I'm sharing, right? All these are scientifically and psychologically proven. Okay. And this is something called gain versus loss. Okay. People psychologically are prefer to care more if they are losing something compared to when they are when they are gaining something. For example, if we just say that, hey, here is an opportunity to gain 1000 rupees or to earn 1000 rupees. Or if we say that, hey, if you do not do that, probably there is high chances that you will lose 500 rupees. And again, it is psychologically proven that people leave gaining of 1000 rupees but they want to prefer to try out everything to stop the loss of that 500 rupees because that is something which we already have and we don't want to lose that. Okay. And there are multiple, there are multiple case studies and multiple things which are proven actually into that. One of the example which I was showing on the slide as well was pulse polio. And I'm sure everybody is aware in India, the pulse polio drive which has happened quite a few years, I think, before, still it was happening in certain places and all. And Amitabh Bachchan was taken as the brand ambassador for that. And for a few years, they kept on saying that take the polio drop and it is very, very helpful for your child. Okay, it will make your child healthy. It will make your child good and so on and so forth. And they were not seeing success of the campaigns for a few years at all. There were people in the tier 1 cities who were coming, but they were not seeing wider success. And then they changed the campaign to say that you are at the risk of that your child might not be able to walk. Your child might lose the ability to walk without the pulse polio drop. And they see a dramatic change in the number of people who started queuing up, who were not showing up earlier. And that's the power when we hit the people. When we say hit means when we actually impact the people psychologically, which is again human brain. That I don't want to lose something what I already have. So next time, if some campaign is not working out or something, try the other way around, where you showcase that you might lose something if you do not do this particular thing. One of the other story, which I would probably like to share, which is with respect to breast cancer. All of us know actually that there are multiple reasons why the why we do not prefer to go for test. First of all, the mammogram specifically, first of all, it's quite expensive. Second thing, it's not very comfortable. It's quite embarrassing at times. And given the multiple hospitals in India do not even have a female assistant to do that. So many people, many of us do not prefer to go into that route. I was working with one of the organization which actually trained people, I mean women with the vision impairment, 100% vision impairment, in order to by utilizing their sixth sense. Because the people with the vision impairment definitely have a sixth sense. They develop that. The touch and the feel is so prominent, and they were trained on identifying the breast cancer. So after the training was over, I was mentoring them, and that's how I know that's how I know the story. And when they were placed in hospitals, people were still very, very hesitant. Okay. So then the hospitals did the campaign, and I don't know, I don't remember the exact wording, but the gist of that was that you are losing an opportunity to cure the cancer and live a healthy life. Along with that, we said it's 5 times less expensive and no one is seeing you. And after a few months of this kind of campaign, the focus was you're losing an opportunity to cure the cancer. It just did the magic. People who never came for mammogram and still didn't want to come for mammogram, they came for the test from the people who actually were placed in those hospitals. And now all of them actually are employed. It's not an internship or anything in anymore. So as somebody was saying in the chat also, right, it's very important to know that psychological impact is really, really very, very powerful. Sure. Any questions? Okay. So now let's, were you able to create the quiz thing, Ritika or Srinidhi?
Ma'am, how do we make use of this psychological impact for building relationships for our, in terms of, making the family relationships much stronger or business connects much stronger?
So I think one of the thing which we spoke about, right, and I was reading in the morning as well, building rapport is the first thing in order to build strong relationship. Okay, and there are certain principles which I have, coming in also, that how do we build even more stronger relationship and get our work done. But the first thing is get to know the people. And if we have a team, like I think Rekha probably was saying that there are 30 people actually in the team. It's not only important for us to build a rapport with the team, but we also need to make sure that they are building the rapport with each other as well, because eventually they need to collaborate, they need to work with each other. So if we are talking to them, right, we need to find out what is the common thing between the 2 or 3 people in my team, and then we share those common things with them, and that's how they also build the relationship. So the important thing is building relationship with the team, building a strong rapport, and making sure that the team is also building the relationship with each other. And there are certain more principles which I will talk about in the upcoming slide. Sure, whoever has asked that question. It was Sujata or Rekha, I believe.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Do we have the quiz?
Srinidhi, can you update?
Hi, Varsha. So we are not able to do the quiz.
Okay,
Right
no
now.
worries. Okay, sure. Sure. It's a poll actually, so no problem. I wanted to do a quiz, people, but I think we do not have the opportunity, which is not an issue. So let me just post it here and you please choose, okay? Option A or B or C. So there is, I am posting a question here in the chat. You please choose the option. Okay. It says your office canteen introduces a loyalty card for samosas. Buy 3 and get 1 free. And but someone says is that, hey, I can't eat those many samosas, man. Okay. Then we reply, without the card, you're losing free samosas. So which principle is this? Anybody else? Ashish and Ruchi are saying, yeah, easy one, right? So I believe everybody understood the gain versus loss. Okay. That how can we let go free stuff? That's true, Ashish. Yeah. Free stuff we can't let go. Okay. Now, here is the other one. This says your colleague refuses to stay late for a presentation. You suggest they just join for last 15 minutes and skip the rest. Now they are staying till the end. So what has worked here? Guilt trip mastery or leveraging no or free dinner? What has worked here? Esna is saying B, which is leveraging no. Anybody else? Free dinner. Yes, Chinna. Arun is saying B. Anybody else? Anyone else? Free dinner. Vikas is saying free dinner. Yeah. So actually the principle over here is leveraging no. But I am sure that in this particular scenario, if it is a true scenario, the free dinner still has edge over leveraging no. True? How can we skip free dinner? Right? But yeah, the principle is leveraging no. You might have seen other principle over here in the first one, which I have put in, which is reciprocity principle, which I am not talking about because as I said that I've selected 2-3 principle, but let me just give a brief because somebody asked a question about that as well, right? How do we build strong relationship and how do we get the work done? This principle says that you do something for me. In the fun way, we said, you scratch my back, I will scratch yours. You do something for me, I will do something for you. But this principle goes a little bit more beyond. It actually says is that you do so much and you help the other people so much that they are compelled to help you psychologically. And this is human, right? All of us are human. We have our psychological brain or something. If you are doing something good for the other person, they will always remember you. Most of the people, actually, 90% of the people will always remember you, and they in turn will get something good for you. And I have seen that so many times. When I am passing on the referrals, when I am actually doing some reference, when I'm passing on the connections and so on and so forth, and it has come back to me in some shape or form where people remember you and they in turn pass on the opportunity or help you in certain way. So that is the reciprocity principle. Okay, let's move on. The next one we will talk about how to influence teams to outperform. Okay, and again we will talk about certain principles over here, around 2 or 3 principles. First one is Nemavashi. Anybody heard about Nemavashi? Okay. So what this is, Nemavashi is, I am actually stopping the share multiple times so that I can still see a lot of you. A lot of you are not on the video, but at least I can see the names and it says that I'm talking to the people and not to the slides. You have seen in the slide that somebody is digging something, right? When we want to plant a tree, what do we do? What do we do if we want to plant a tree? We dig soil. Yeah. Yes, Disha. We prepare soil, right? And same thing is with the people also. Preparing people's mind and perspective before introducing a change. And that is Nemawashi principle in influence world. We just can't go ahead and then say, do, please do this one, please do this one, please do this one, without actually preparing why it is important and why it should be done, and how it's gonna positively impact. Again, let me share one story. Okay. I was, as Ritika was providing in my introduction, in my previous organization, I was heading marketing. And that organization was in B2B business. We were into virtualization business. It is a B2B business, but still, right? We had a website and there were a lot of engineers, because I mean, B2B deals doesn't just close like that, right? There are VPs and SVPs who are asking their engineers to go out and then see what is there in the market, go ahead and do a lot of free trials, and then read the blogs, read the communities, and so on and so forth, and see how the particular product has performed. And then the engineers go and share that, hey, we have explored this, we have done these trials, and so on and so forth. So our website actually has a lot of issues. We were having very low number of trials, and we had huge bounce rate. Bounce rate is something where somebody comes to your homepage, and I saw Megha. I think, yeah, Megha, if you are there, right, still, you can probably explain bounce rate a lot better than me. It's a bounce. It was that somebody comes to your site to homepage and they just move from there itself. They don't explore anything else. We had a huge bounce rate on our site. We tried everything where we improved the UI, we improved the UX, we improved the flow, and so on and so forth. We introduced blocks, a lot of things which we have done. But what we have realized later after a lot of hit and trials is that we are only selling and selling and selling. Okay. We are not preparing people's mind for the change. What we need to do is to stop selling our products, but to offer solutions. When somebody comes to explore such kind of things, they already have huge challenge. They already have huge data centers which they want to virtualize, right? And they are agitated how things will happen. We need to prepare slowly. Their mind is that, hey, if you are facing this challenge, this is the first step to do. You should probably identify how many VMs and how many blah, 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 and all those things you have. Then you should do this step 2, then step 3, then step 4, then step 5. And then you will get to your desired solution. And by the way, here is our product to achieve the same. And this is how we prepare people's mind slowly to get to what you want, but not by selling hard, not by offering our products, but by offering solutions, by understanding the challenges of the people and then providing what works. And that is something which I say in networking, and that's other answer to the question which somebody was asking, right? Tingreka probably is that whenever we want to win something, whenever we want to win a deal, whenever we want to be successful in the business, do not sell your product, do not sell your services at all. Solve the problem of the person. Your product will sell automatically. And that is what, when I do some personal branding or the networking, sessions also, a lot of times, right, what I've seen, people are sharing business cards and, hey, this is what I do, this is what I do. If you need, then please let me know, or please contact me at this number. There are less than 5% of the chances that you will get a call back. Even if you are not able to connect to 5 people or 10 people in a conference, and you are able to connect to 2 people only, that is good enough. But those conversations should be meaningful. You should know what their challenges and what their problems are. If you are offering those solutions, offer. Otherwise, refer somebody. If you are referring, again, if you are referring and helping other, you are actually applying 2 principles, building rapport and reciprocity. It will come back to you in some shape or form. Good. Okay. The next principle which we have here, before that, let me again ask you to pick something. If you have any questions, you can please keep asking. We are not saying that we need to wait till the end in order to ask questions, but yeah, let's
Yeah,
pick one.
I have a observation with respect to what you just said.
Yeah.
This is something that a very senior consultant had told me, and I see that it works. Whenever you talk to a person, like you said, no, we always are so very desperate about trying to tell them what we can do rather than find out what they want. I mean, it's not about you wanting to be the hero each time. Make them the hero, and then they will listen better.
Yeah. Make customer the king. So we have one more principle on that. Make them feel that they are in authority and not you. Okay. Very rightly
Yeah,
said.
and that you want to give them something that they want rather than telling them, here I am having this, you please take it. Or
Yeah.
you better take it, sort of a thing. See, most marketing approaches are like that, you know.
Yeah.
Take
Hard
lo
selling
varna,
never
sort of
works.
a thing.
Yeah. Hard
Le lo
selling.
varna, sort of a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think the principle, whatever you mentioned, no, Varsha, that works even as an elevator pitch, right? If if you get an opportunity to meet any CXO, CIO, CEO, whoever it is, and you understand their business and their challenges, current challenges, pain points, and when you meet them, or the span of time, maybe few seconds, then you will have to have that kind of a hook where you talk about your solution which can address their challenges, right? That's how probably you can get an attraction. He talking to you, or he probably giving your time, talk to you
Yeah.
later. So all that can happen. Yeah.
Yeah. If we understand, so as you said, yeah, rightly, Arun, right? Arun and Rekha. If we understand the problem of the other person, then it doesn't feel like selling at all, which means that they are my partners, and means I am the partner of the person, and I am trying to solve their problem. Obviously, they will give a lending ear. Definitely, they will give a
Exactly.
lending ear. Yeah. So thank you, Arun and Rekha, for adding up. Truly makes sense. Let's move on. If you have to pick one of these, which one would you pick? Suppose if you have a challenge, or if you are looking for something and you want some help, or you went to talk to somebody. So will you say, what do you think about this, or what is your advice here? Which one should you pick, or will you pick?
First
Now
one.
let me stop and see what people are sharing on chat.
First.
Ashok saying first, Rekha saying second. Anybody else? 1, 1, 2, 2. What else? Anybody else? You can unmute and talk as well. Okay.
I think the first one, I'm Ashok here.
Yeah.
When we are open with someone, what do you think about this? No, so that we are putting a very open arm, scenario there, and then person will feel free to speak about it. Okay, open his mind, whatever he thinks about. If somebody, what is your advice is the question, he may say that I didn't have any advice for you. He may refuse also. But first is more open than second one.
So the first one will invite advice is actionable
opposite.
and valuable. Thoughts are considered free. Okay. Anybody else?
I will say
So
just the opposite.
person also will
What do
think
you
that
think?
if this person want to, give, value to my thinking. Yeah. So if he shares his thinking and whatever comes in mind, that will be valuable in front of the next person who want to listen.
No, in the second context, you're giving him an authority very clearly. You're saying that you are if I take advice from somebody whom I think is better than me. So you're giving him that superiority by default. and that sells very well.
Yep. So I think you covered one.
Yeah.
Just
So I would like to add, see, when
Yeah.
you say, what do you think about this? Probably you are putting him on spot, right? So he is kind of compelled to give the answer in line. So advice could be very general, right? So he can even say, okay, you can connect to this person, that person, and all that, right? That option he'll have.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my perspective.
The word advice by default authorizes somebody. You're giving him an authority and telling him, look,
Yeah.
you're in a position to advise. So I think
Yeah.
that sells mentally.
So Chinna is saying, so yes, so right, Rekha, and Arun, what you are also saying is right. It's more open-ended. And Chinna is saying, I'll probably move in the interest of time. Chinna is saying, in second case, we will think he is hero. Yes. Pankaj says, will prefer, what's your advice here? Maybe precursor to share open feedback. The think may be probing. Okay. Kruti says, I think in the second one, the person already feels that we trust him or her or them. Yes. Advice is commitment from both ends. Yes, Sujata. So you covered the other gist of it. Advice is commitment from both ends. Again, psychologically. Okay. When we say that think about this, and I think somebody said also, right, we are asking for their opinion. And psychologically, when we invite opinions, people become critic and they become judgmental and they might provide unstructured feedback. It's not bad. I'm not saying that it's bad. It again depends on the situations and all. When you definitely want something meaningful from somebody, right? And you want them to partner with you. That's when we need to hit the mind of the people psychologically. Opinions are always, oh, somebody's asking for opinion. I should definitely probably provide something which can improve this one. They start looking for some challenges or some issues which are there, which probably you have explained, and they become critic psychologically. And it is psychologically proven, as I said, right? That everything is psychologically proven here. When we ask for advice, as a couple of people mentioned as well, right? We make them the hero. We make them the SME, that, hey, you are the SME, I am asking your advice, which definitely says that we value your expertise and we are looking to partner with you. And when that happens, we talk in the problem solving approach, in a collaboration mode. And as somebody rightly said, right, actionable input you might get. That's the power.
But I think it depends on situation also, no?
Yes, it depends on situation. As I already mentioned, right? When you're trying to influence somebody, because everything what we are talking about is in the context of influencing over here. Okay? When you want to influence somebody, when you really want them to say yes, to partner with you, to help you, to be aside you, then we probably should be using this particular principle or this particular thing where we are influencing with partnership. We are making them the hero. We are making them the SME. We are psychologically hitting them that I value you a lot more on this particular topic. And then become your partner. Then they say, yes, I will solve the problem with you. Okay.
But generally, when we say advice, no, we always ask the advice from the person who is more experienced, or maybe he having more experience than me. Then I'll go for advice. I'll not ask advice from the person who is not much matured, or even he's a younger than
Yeah,
me.
definitely. So when we have a particular problem and we are looking to influence somebody, so for example, you have, if say somebody is writing a book, okay, and then they want somebody to write, I mean, one particular chapter or or the foreword or whatever it is. I mean, correct. Then we are reaching out to the SME. We want somebody who is known in that particular field. But how do we influence them? Right? How do we influence them to say yes? So in those situations, instead of, hey, what do you think about my book? Should say, what's your advice here? And invite them to partner with you.
No, when you say opinions, no, there are multiple, even from a single person. This also, that also. If you ask for a recipe of palak paneer, you'll get 100 recipes from the same person. But when you say, I want your advice, give me your expertise, she will give a tried and tested thing and give that special recipe, you know.
Yeah, yeah. So it depends on situation, and when we are talking in terms of influence, we are obviously and specifically in this particular situation when we are trying to partner. So this is the principle of influencing with partnership. When we are trying to partner with somebody, this particular phrase works a lot better psychologically compared to asking for open-ended opinions.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, let's move on. Unless there are any other questions or suggestions. By the way, I am loving it, the kind of discussion which we are having. It just feels that I am not talking to the slides or I am not talking to just somebody in the Zoom, but we are actually sitting in the room and having a conversation. So please keep the comments or the suggestions or the thoughts coming in. Anything else?
I just wanted to like add one thing on the the thing we were talking about. So when we say like what is your opinion on this, and so Varsha said that people become critique about their opinions, and then they share different opinions about the thing that we are asking for. And when we ask for the advice, it's like even if the person has a critical opinion about something, they will consider the if I have a different opinion and he has a different opinion, so he will consider both of them, and then he'll be like, oh, all right. So even if we have certain thoughtful conflicts here, but still it is like the person has come to me to seek advice, so it is my responsibility to understand both the thoughts, and then they will provide you the solution. It's like even if when we're asking for the opinion, they have the same thing to say, but then when we're asking for the advice, they have the same thing, but then it's like they take it as their responsibility to help you and provide you the solution.
Definitely, yes. Yeah. So again, right, if we make people the hero or the heroine, or I mean, whatever it is, or if we make people feel that you are in authority here, you are an SME here, then they try to prove that as well, right? That yes, I am the SME, and they will weigh the pros and cons, and then they will come back to you. There is a comment from Pankaj: how important is to first win trust before a meaningful conversation starts? How how and what could be done to win trust? Okay, because she's saying based on situation, option, and advice works, you should know how. Yes, so I think because yes, so we said that when we are trying to influence somebody to partner with us, then we should be using that. In order to answer Pankaj's question, Pankaj, what you're saying is right. It is definitely important to win the trust of the people, and when we want to say trust of the people, it's again boils down to building rapport, applying the principle of building the rapport, building the reciprocity means do something for the other person as well. It's the collaboration and winning the trust of the person, and it always can't be single-sided. It needs to be both the ways. And winning trust actually can be done in multiple ways. See, when we are working in a particular team and when we are working in a single organization, then our work speaks up. Okay. When we are probably, say, for example, in a corporate world, in this kind of situation where we are trying to network with the other person we might know or not know, then how do we build trust? Is by building the rapport, by knowing each other, by helping each other, right? And if we have got a reference from a particular person, say this is something which is, I mean, very, very important. And I have seen that in BNI and obviously in GHRC and in multiple other network also, that the and I'm sure all of us do that, but I'll still mention that if you are getting the work from a reference, then make sure that we are putting our 500% on that to actually make sure that it is successful. Your customer experience is the best at that particular point of time, compared to, obviously we should do when we have direct clients also, but with the reference, it is a lot more important, because you are not only building the trust with that particular customer, but you are actually building the trust with the person who has passed on the reference to you, which probably have come after multiple hops. So if it doesn't go well, means you are breaking the trust of all the 5 people who are there in the line who passed on that reference to you. So it's very, very important to make sure that our work speaks up, the way we are providing services, the way we are providing solutions and all is all speaking up. And that is which actually builds the trust. And Pankaj, yes, it's very important to make sure that we have relationship with the person, we have rapport with the person before we go ahead and ask for advice. But in my situation, I have seen multiple times, or at least few times, is that even if I do not know somebody, but we have a LinkedIn presence, we have a good profile, we have post, we have engagement, we are putting our thoughts out there in a very well structured manner, then even in that case, if I am approaching a completely new person, right, they still trust you, because you have a personal brand which has built your trust. Your personal brand is speaking for you. So it is not always that you have to know the person, a person, as that you should have a personal or professional relationship with a person. Your personal brand also builds the trust, right? Anything else before we move on? Thank you, Pankaj, for that question. Okay, let's move on, right? The next one is, so we spoke about this particular principle, which is influencing with partnership. The next is influence with abundance. And I think we spoke about this, so probably we'll skip that a lot. Influence with abundance is pretty much the same, which we already spoke about in order to answer Pankaj's question, and probably some other question is also. This is establish yourself as a giver, SME, go-to person, show generosity, right? That how can you just be there for the people? And that again, I have seen in, because I'm again part of many WhatsApp groups and all, and we get a lot of requests for something and all. We just keep passing on, and it doesn't take a lot of time. In corporate world also, there are multiple architects, and there are, again, I have a story, but probably I'll skip that. Multiple architects, there are SMEs, and then why do people reach out to them always? Because those SMEs are actually have established themselves as giver. If somebody is reaching out to them, they are just so open to share their plethora of the knowledge what they have. And that is how, even if they are not in authority, they are not people manager, they are not your leader or skip level leader or whatever, still people respect them and encourage them and actually reach out to them a lot. Why? Because they have established themselves as SME, right? In Shark Tank India, actually, anybody watches Shark Tank? Hey, yes, I love that actually. Okay, and many other business case studies. There are hardly any business serials, right? So I actually watched, I mean, Shark Tank, and in that I was impressed by one of the business. That particular business was selling protein powder. Okay, and they had multiple crores of the revenue every year, and it was profitable as well, highly profitable. Okay, how they were able to sell? Because the bodybuilder was the face of that particular, I mean, product, has so many followers on his YouTube channel, and they were all customers. Now, I am not talking about that how sustainable that business is, because it's a single person driven influencer, and that person established himself as a giver, as a SME, and that's how people are following it and buying the protein powder. Probably not the best thing to do in the business, just to be dependent on one single person. But again, this is not a business class. But see the power of influence. And they mentioned that just when they launched, right, they were out of stock in 1 hour. That's the power of influence. That's the power when you establish yourself as a SME. And that is something which we should do. And that again helps when we might know a lot of things, right? We might have plethora of the knowledge in our head. But unless and until we share that openly, unless and until people know about it, how can we gain anything from it? Right? And when I say gain is in terms of, I mean, business, because we don't get knowledge just to actually make money out of it, because some people just want to read and gain knowledge. But in terms of, I mean, business, right, it is important to share that. Okay, let's see if stopped watching Shark Tank, and in specific the TV now. Yeah, that is true. Bane of the that is true. A lot of OTT happens, and when we open that, then we watch a lot of things. But yeah, I love that. Okay, next one. Probably in the interest of time, I had one quick exercise, but I will leave that. We'll see in the end if we have time. I'll definitely get to that. The exercise was, can you help me order pasta? So the thought process behind this one was that a lot of us order food from outside, right? And then when we want to order food from outside, there is always a fight which happens. I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this, right? Everybody wants something very different. So I wanted you to apply the principles and help me win over everybody in my family that we will order pasta only today. So while we move on, please think which principle will you apply, and how can you help me influence my family to order pasta only today? Sure? Done? It's a deal?
Yeah.
Thank
Yes.
you. Great. Let's move on to the next one, which is influence without authority, certain principles. So we spoke about influencing team to outperform, influence infusion, and this is some other principle which is foot in the door. Anybody knows what is foot in the door? Okay. So foot in the door is incremental buy-in. Okay. Slightly related to the principle of leveraging no, but not completely that. Incremental buy-in. Again, if you are asking somebody to do very huge thing for us, obviously at times you will hear no. N number of times I have heard that when I went to my leader asking for $10 million budget for this particular project. I was working on SaaS transformation. I asked for $10 million budget. They said, are you for real? Right? And sometimes, right, when I go ahead and ask for headcounts and all that, yeah, I need 50 people here to make that happen. Then again, are you for real? Right? So we need to try out this principle, foot in the door, and do incremental buy-in. Let me share one more story. So again, in my previous organization, I was marketing head. And the way our marketing was structured is that there are multiple BUs, because we had multiple products, and for every product there was a BU for marketing, and they were free to go ahead and try out their own campaigns to get the products, okay, whatever they want, either for the campaigns or for the ads or whatever it is, or even for the broken links and so on and so forth. So over the years, these multiple BUs have actually collected more than 1,000 products. So even though there are different BUs, but CMO is one and VP is also one. So they were actually getting very furious. Why the hell are we spending $8 million just on licensing? And they gave me this particular task that you need to eliminate all these products, what we have in these BUs. And I was like, really? Now are you saying that? Are you for real? Right. But anyway, boss is boss, so we need to, and that time I didn't know the influence principles. Yeah, that's why. Otherwise, I would have influenced them for sure. That I don't want to do that. But anyway, just kidding, right? So I got that. Now I had to do something, and I did a lot of research. I put some of my best people on that okay, here is the list of all the 1,000 products, and here are all the duplicates products what we have, and so on and so forth, and we should retire these particular products. And first I wanted to get the buy-in from the BUs before I present to the CMO. And I went to the BUs and they just thrashed my entire plan completely on my face. Are you really asking me to retire all of my products? Right? I have a campaign going live. I need to use the products. And you're really asking me to retire my products? And most of the BUs actually. Ashok, if you can go on mute. 99% of the BUs actually have rejected my plan completely. Then what should I do? Then I applied. Then by the time I learned the principle of influence, right? Then I applied this principle put in the door. So what I did is that every product on an average was having around 15, 20, products. Some given had 30, 40 products and all as well. So I identified only the top 2 products. Okay, which were probably not the best product in the market. And then I reached out to them that I want to work with you to retire just these 2 products. And here is the better solution which I have to offer you. Okay, for that. And this is the time it will take. Right? And we need this much of commitment for only 2 products. And that's how I approached the various BUs now. And now the coin has flipped completely. When 99% of the BUs have rejected, completely thrashed my plan earlier, now at least 95% of the BUs have signed up for that particular plan. Okay, I'm happy to retire these 2 products. Let's work on it. And then I build the trust, like somebody was saying, right? How do you build trust? So by retiring just those 2 products and applying foot in the door, I have built their trust. Now they trusted that yes, it is not just to spoil my BU or spoil my marketing campaigns and all, but it's really gonna work. Then from 2 to 4 to 6 to 10, eventually I reached to 15 to 20 products, what we wanted to retire from every BU. That's the power of foot in the door. Start with smaller ask, build the trust, show the results, and then move on to the much bigger ask. Sure. Any questions? Okay, let's move on. What's the other principle? We have only 2 more principles to go. The other one called Shoshin. Anybody heard about Shoshin? First thing is curiosity, then openness, then humility, then possibilities, and then growth. So what is Shoshin? Any guesses now from this? It's actually beginner's mindset. Sometimes, right? And again, different thing apply in different situations. Sometimes, right, we say that you should establish yourself as a giver, as a SME, and as somebody who actually knows the stuff. Different situation, different principles. Shoshin is beginner's mindset. Again, I believe all of us will agree that there's so much knowledge, there's so much to learn in this particular world that nobody in the world can know everything. At least in our lifetime, we will not be able to know. And here is something where we can influence people by being humble. Right? Many a times, right, when I mentor some of the senior leaders, they actually say, because we leaders actually move from one team to another team to the third team and so on. Just few days before, I was talking to a senior leader and she was saying, I was a SME in my previous team. I knew everything from scratch. And now I have moved to a different team and nobody trusts me at all. There's no respect which I have. True, completely true. All my things, whatever, all these stories are true. All these analogies are true and all these principles are psychologically proven. Said, okay, what's the challenge? So she said, I am new. But then again, we are senior leaders. We can't take 6 months of time like anybody who has just joined the organization, right, as a fresher, to actually learn a lot of things and all. So I said, okay, how are you adding value to your team? Don't know. I am the leader and the people are working for me. So this is a biggest misconception which we have in the leadership space. We as managers think that we have the people, we are the people manager. There are n number of people under me and they are working for me. No. What I say, in my humble opinion, what I believe, that we are here to work for our people. We are the ones who should be adding value to our team. If you really want to influence, if you really want to win their trust, win their heart, and get the work done, you need to add, we as leaders need to add the value to our team. And the challenge is that obviously she didn't know the domain, she didn't know the technology, she didn't know. So obviously how to add the value to the team. They were not reaching out to her at all for anything. Same situation I was in. As I said, I was in marketing and then I was moved to sales. Okay, I won't say that I choose, but I was moved to sales. Again, that's a different leadership, I think, principle, not for this particular class, that if you should really jump onto the opportunity which somebody has identified for you, or you should actually take up the opportunity, but that's a different thing. But I was moved to sales. And I was exactly in the same situation that particular leader was. My team was around 400 plus, and they were only reaching out to me for, hey, I want sick leave. When is my bonus coming? What's my bonus percentage? And that's it. Because again, I didn't have domain knowledge. I didn't have technology. I didn't know the architecture. I don't know anything of the sales domain actually at all. And they thought me as somebody who is sitting on their head, who will actually just keep throwing opinions. This is not right. That's not right. And this is something you are not doing the right way. You should be doing this. We are getting delayed and 100 things and so on and so forth. Right. But I changed my way. Right. I just identified two buddies in that particular team. And for 1 month, for like a childlike curiosity, I kept asking all the possible questions which can help me understand the domain, the technology, and the entire world, what my people were working on. And when they saw that I'm not being direct, I'm not just, directing, but I am humble. I'm trying to understand. I accepted that I do not know and I want to learn. And slowly then when I learned, I gained the respect. I obviously influenced them, that they started reaching out to me with their technical and business and all the other stakeholder challenges and all as well. So sometimes, right, just showcasing that we are the SME and we know everything and all doesn't work when we actually are not there at all. Right? Okay, let's move on. And that's the last one, which is alignment on purpose. I think this is easy. Alignment on purpose. Anybody wants to take a guess? What is alignment on purpose? again, different things and different situations. Alignment on purpose is something when again we want to get the work done from the people, right? How do we align them? And this is one of the major challenge which we are seeing in today's, specifically in today's world with Gen Z and Gen Alpha. And I'm not just saying with Gen Z and Gen Alpha, it's probably with everybody. But yeah, today's generation is a much more smarter. They want to know why they are doing something, what they are doing, how it's gonna add value, why I should be spending time on this one. This is not something which I think is worth at all. How do we align them? To by share what value it's gonna bring to the table, which we are trying to do. Again, let me share a story. Okay. In my previous organization, we actually had, and that time it was a merge of 3 organizations. We had Dell, EMC, and VMware, and we had a single CIO. And when CIO was visiting India, we wanted to do something which is very different, and we chose Tech for Good Hackathon. We want, and that time only the freshers have joined, and we were having around 100 plus, freshers for that. And they were already going through their boot camp. They already had their targets. They already had their projects and all apart from the boot camp. And on top of it, I was given this, that you need to engage them for this particular hackathon also. When I approached them, right, hardly anybody agreed, because obviously they had a lot to do and they had to prove they are the freshers in the team, right? But then what I did is I have set up a meeting and I have clearly shared the purpose with them. And I've shared the challenges also. Let's see, there are n number of people which there are n number of problems which we have. There are traffic issues which are there. And actually it was there where our office was situated. We had certain people with the speech and hearing impairment in our organization, and there was no way to communicate actually with them. Most of us were not able to communicate with them, and there were n number of issues which we had. And we said, if we just spend time on this particular hackathon, right, just imagine how much problems we will be able to solve with that. And there are a bunch of other things. We'll not go into a lot of details over there, but yeah. And then to my surprise, right, if out of 100 people, we formed 8 teams with 5 or 6 people. So almost 40 plus people signed up for the hackathon. And out of those 8 teams, the 3 were finalists and 1 was the winner. The winner team actually has incorporated NLP also into their 3-day hackathon. Their app was Talking Fingers, which actually helped us not only for hackathon, but later also in order to strike a conversation with the people with the speech and hearing impairment, because we had few apps for American Sign Language, but we hardly have any apps for Indian Sign Language. And the app was translating Indian Sign Language to English and vice versa. So if you're struggling with your team or anything and all, try and share and influence them by sharing what this particular project is going to achieve in the short term, medium term, and long term, and how it's going to impact them, you, the team, and the overall organization, and what value it's going to add. Okay. So now let's stop here and let's do a quick exercise. Any questions in the meantime, please put it on the chat. Srinidhi or Ritika, will we be able to do breakout rooms at least or no?
Just a moment, let me check.
Okay, in the meantime, let me quickly share what we want to do in the breakout rooms. We will try and form 4 rooms, okay? And these are all the principles what we have discussed, which is your leveraging no, gain versus loss, Nimavashi, and foot in the door. Okay. Your challenge is to influence people to get a 3-day work week. Who all want 3-day work week? Who all want 3-day work week? Yeah, Ritika.
Yeah, Varsha, the breakout rooms can be done.
Okay, sure. So let's just so we'll do 4 breakout rooms, right? And the challenge is 3-day or 4-day work week or whatever it is you want to choose, and it's just for fun. Okay, it's not that we really want 3-day work week or 4-day work week or whatever it is. I mean, right? Or you can choose any other problem also which is there. Okay. Thank you, Rekha. One of the best session I have attended. Thank you so much. Yeah, it means a lot. You made my day. Okay. So now let's quickly form the breakout room. Whosoever wants to choose this one, the leverage no, they can join that particular room. Then the other one is gain versus loss. Another one is Nemavashi. The fourth one is foot in the door. And you can quickly brainstorm, right, in the room on how do you want to present your talk? How do you want to influence the people for the challenge which you're trying to solve? It could be 3-day work week, 4-day work week, or whatever it is, or whatever problems. Okay. The gist of it is try and apply the principles what we have just gone through. Okay. And then we come back after 2 minutes over here or 3 minutes over here. And one of the person from the group should share on how do you think you can influence. Great. I think we might extend for a few minutes. Is that okay with everybody? 5 minutes we'll extend, and then we'll quickly have some tips of influencing, and then we'll just close. Is that okay with everybody? Yes, no? Yes, yes. Okay, so let's quickly do the breakout rooms, please. And we'll have 2 to 3 minutes in the breakout room. You can brainstorm with your roommates there in the room on how do you want to present and how do you want to influence.
Srinidhi, is it done?
You can join the room, whatever you are
Yes, Ritika.
looking for. It is leveraging no, gain versus loss, Nemavashi, and foot in the door. So while they are creating the breakout rooms, right?
Rooms are created.
Okay, here is my LinkedIn. If you want, if you have any questions even after the session, you can reach out to me on LinkedIn. Or you can reach out to me over WhatsApp as well. I'm always available. As I said, I will be applying all the principles, always available to help. Sure. The other thing is, which I have, is I have created a very specific self-reflection assessment on influence without authority. We obviously will not be able to do here because, as I said, that it has around 20 questions, which is very deep forming questions. But if you would like to attempt that, it is free. It is a self-reflection, and it will give you this kind of graph, and it will give you this kind of insights about the behavior and the emotions which you go through and all. If you would like to try that particular self-reflection, self-assessment on influence without authority, you can ping me on LinkedIn or you can ping me on WhatsApp. Okay. I will give you this kind of assessment for your self-reflection on, and it is just, it doesn't have any scoring. It will just share that what goes on in our mind. Okay. And how can we improve on that? Sure. So this is my LinkedIn. Great. Now, if the breakout rooms are created, can we move on to the breakout room? I don't see that actually.
You will get it on the right-hand side, join breakout room.
Can people join that, please? Yeah.
Hello, please
Yeah,
explain.
Have you named the
yeah,
rooms
which
accordingly?
one? Yeah, what is room 1, room 2? What is the like principle we're using on that?
Yeah, can you please name the rooms? Okay, let's just see in the interest of time. The room number 1 is leveraging no. So whosoever wants to join leveraging no they can join room number 1. Now, whosoever wants to join gain versus loss, they can join room number 2. Okay. Now, whosoever wants to join Nemavashi, they can join room number 3.
But you have to explain how to join rooms in the team members.
So if you say more, if you click on more here, it says join breakout rooms.
More. Okay.
Yeah. So you will, so I think we are seeing 3 dots here.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3 dots. If you click on that, it says join breakout room.
Yeah. Can you explain room number 1, 2, 3, 4?
Okay. Room number 1 is leveraging no.
Mm.
Room number 2 is gain versus loss.
Mm.
Room number 3 is Nemavashi.
Mm.
Room number 4 is foot in the door.
Mm.
Take the challenge. Who wants that you have to convince or influence the people to have a 3-day work week or a 4-day work week or whatever problem. Okay, you decide. Again, I will say room number 1 is leveraging no. Room number 2 is gain versus loss. Room number 3 is Nemavashi. Room number 4 is foot in the door. I still feel multiple people here. Please let us know if you are not able to join the
Yeah.
room.
No one is there in the room number 4 yet.
Okay, people, please join room number 4 also. Foot in the door. Pratik, Patel, Ankur Patel, Deepak, Ashok, Sujata, Priya, a lot of people are not joining any room. Is there any question? Okay, yeah, Sujata, you can join one. Yes, please go ahead. So again, saying room number 1 is leveraging no. Room number 2 is gain versus loss. Room number 3 is Nemavashi. 4 is foot in the door. Ruchi is saying, I am interested in the assessment for self-reflection. Ruchi, you can ping me on LinkedIn or on WhatsApp. I'll share that. Okay, I am assuming that the people who did not join any room, either you have a question or you're not able to join the room or there is something. So please let us know.
We are not able to join the room.
Can you click on the 3 dots and see join breakout, room? It shows room number 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can just join. We already have 3 people in room number 1, 4 people in room number 2, 2 people in room number 3, only one person in room number 4. Only Ashok is in room number 4. Can somebody join Ashok, please? In room number 4, and room number 4 is foot in the door technique. Okay, I think it's probably a few minutes. So after a minute, please get the people back into the main meeting. Srinidhi or Ritika.
Okay, done.
Sure.
Yeah.
Then we'll hear from the people and then we'll just close. Room number 3 has Disha and Pankaj. Room number 2 has Arun, Esna, Ruchi, Piraya. And room number 1 has Vikas, Sujata, Chinna and Nadia. Great. In the meantime, the people who have not joined any room, if you want to please provide any feedback, then please let me know. If you want to ask any question, you can. We are about to close after we are back from the room. Can you close the room now?
Varsha, it was really a very engaging session. Personally, I really liked it and I enjoyed. And one good thing about what I felt is every words that you've used are very simple and understandable. Sometimes in webinar and all, when we are listening and being in a fresher zone or something, we have just been in the system from 1 year, 2 years. So I do not understand most of the words, what people use. The session was very engaging and everything was so understandable. The words used were very easy to, grasp and stuff. It was really very nice.
Thank you so much. Thank you. My English is this much only. That's the best English I can speak. Simple words only.
It's
I
very
don't
easy
know
to
complicated
understand. We don't have to,
vocabulary.
crack our head. What is happening? What is she telling? Sometimes the words used are so strong that by the time I understand the word, I'll miss the whole sentence. Yeah, that happens most of the time, but it was really nice here.
Yeah. So sometimes not having a complicated, vocabulary helps, right? See? Yeah. My niece keeps on saying, learn vocabulary, and she uses some words. One of the word which she uses, pulchritudinous. Pulchritudinous. That's for beautiful. Okay, so she won't say beautiful, she will say pulchritudinous. She said, please learn. Said, no, please, maaf karo. So sometimes not having a great vocabulary also helps, right? We can be just simple. Yeah. The world is simple. We can be simple. Yeah.
Definitely.
The entire thing will be simple. Okay. So I know people are back. Is everyone back from the room? Let's just see that. Okay. So assuming most of the people are back. So room number 1, who wants to go ahead? And let's make it quick, please. Anybody wants to go from room number 1? The principle was leveraging no. Anyone? I spoke for 2 hours, yeah. I'm asking you to speak for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Sujata.
So first and foremost is that we will say that ordering pasta is better for the dinner because it is going to be truly fulfilling. And second, I will order one number in short. If 5 of us are going, I will say I will not order for myself. Those who don't like, no worries, we will order what they like at a later point of time.
Okay. Sure. So which principle you have applied here?
Leveraging no.
Okay, great. Thank you. Second room, gain versus loss.
Yeah,
Thank you,
so
Sujata.
hi, Varsha, this is Arun Rakshit. This is for that 4 days a week working.
Yeah.
So we are focusing on the loss, right? Because that is what we understand from the session you had so far. So what we are trying to say, if we are uh, not getting 4 days a week, and if it still continues 5 days a week, then the loss would be on the productivity because we would have worked 5 days, and again it is not only 5 days, right? We also sometimes work over a weekend, so that way we will have very short time for the family and for our own well-being, or for uh, you know uh, for doing any activity which can help our own health. And again, spending time with family is also very, very important, right? So in current model, that is not happening. That's how we see a lot of health related issues with a lot of people. And so although all those problems can be taken care, if we have one more day off, which is from 5 days a week to 4 days. So this would definitely increase the productivity, as we're going to give a rest to our brain for another day. right? And we would probably have a sufficient time for us, for our own health, and for our family. That way, I think
So
we will be
basically, we will
more
be
productive.
losing. So yeah.
Yeah,
Basically, we can probably start with you will be losing productive time from the team for X number of hours and so on and so forth by this and this and this. The
correct.
important thing is actually to start with the loss. Yeah. Thank you, Arun. Thank you so much. Makes sense
Yes,
a lot. I don't know how much it will really convince our leaders, but it does actually. It did in Germany and in some other, I mean, places and all, right, where they have 4 days, 4 days work week. Again, I am not in the favor of 3 day or 4 day and all, because what I believe is it all up to the people. I mean, right, how many number of hours, whatever we want to work on being productive, we should. And India needs it, right? Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. Okay, so the next room quickly, Nema Vashi. Anybody wants to go from room number 3? Please share the problem which you picked up, and then what's your
Sure.
pitch?
So, Varsha, myself, Disha, and Pankaj, who's also on video, were part of room 3. We picked up this topic only, that work, for lesser days in the week. And, just when I was describing that, okay, this is the problem we are picking, Pankaj immediately said, hey, for me, it's 6 days working. For me, going from 6 days to 5 days itself will be victory. And
Oh.
Pankaj, you want to elaborate a little bit on the points we were discussing?
Yeah, thank you, Desha. So, Varsha, name of Vashi, as we say, thank you, Desha, for giving me the insights about that, preparation which needs to be done. So, we see it from the multiple angle. One important angle is culture of the company, what business they are in. It does not align with the shorter work week or not. Okay. What are the values and missions the company is carrying? At the same time, the second important person, the person who is the leadership team. Is it the Gen Z leadership, or it is the Xerox leadership? And this also depends upon their work style and the values which they live by. So, like one of the senior leaders from the company spoke about that 100 hours, week, or more than that. So this depends upon the your which phase of the life you are into. What are the values you stand by, and what you want to enforce, what company you are into it. So in case if you do the research and preparation regarding the company's values and mission, company culture, company kind of business, and the people who the leadership team, their profile, demographics. So that will add value in the Nimavashi point of view. We keeping that principle. And if required, we can always go for a feedback gathering and having some collections from the people, whatever their feedback opinion, before we form the way forward or reducing the work week. And as you're saying, from 6, make it to 5 to 4, or God depends. So it's a hypothetical situation, 2 3 days. I know that will not happen, but even if it could move from 6 to 5, it would be a great victory for a big chunk.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Makes sense, actually. So as you rightly said, right, it depends on the business. It depends on what industry we are in and all, and how does it work. And that's how we are laying the ground, first, right, and not just coming back with our ask. Great. The last room, last but not the least, which is room number 4, foot in the door. I know
Yeah.
Ashok was there in that
Yeah.
room. So Ashok, you
Thank
and
you.
your brain.
Mostly a foot in the door. Uh, people talk about marketing mostly, but whereas I feel that the same concept can be used almost on every function. Okay. Now, in our company, particularly where I'm there, we didn't have a very stringent, payroll system. Payroll was there, but time and attendance and leave management was not very stringent. And now, from last year onwards, almost 6 months back, we started that we want to time and attendance process. So it will be biometric, it will be geotagging, geofencing, so many things people work in the field. And initially, when we have informed all, there was a lot of resistance from the people. Okay. So then we say, okay, we will help you. So each and every department function, I started having a conversation with them. And some department have a very high level of resistance. How this will happen and how time will be calculated, because till now nothing was done like that. So continuously, the foot in door is also a persuasion skill. Okay. In fact, is a very complicated, but persuasion is the one thing what we need to. And then we have a continuous persuasion with the department boys, the people boys, their HOD, then reporting managers. And then we say that we will resolve all your queries. Don't worry about it. Even if you do the mistake, we will may help you. Next, at least 4 months, we say you are doing mistake. It's okay. Your salary will be paid in the time. But the date is on the 1st April onwards. Whatever, if you are not completing your attendance part rightly, then the salary will be affected, and then you have to adjust and request your HOD and all. So that will be from your part. And with this skill of foot in door, we are able to success. And from 1st October on 1st April onwards, we are going live. And almost
Awesome.
I get the queries and people are very happy.
Very nice. Thank you, Ashok. Thank you so much.
Particularly the geo-tagging system what we provided. Okay, geo-fencing in fact. The people anywhere, any place, they can log in their punch time. And the app we have provided to them is such a user-friendly. Okay, so they are now enjoying that. And now they are saying it is easy for us to, earlier they used to maintain with a different way with the writing daily reports. So this is one example of.
See, one of the very famous ad, I know we don't have time, but I wanted to, share that, but a very famous saying, okay, and I'll probably end with that, is people do not say no to change, but they say no to when we are asking them to change.
Yeah.
Right? So the way to actually influence people, or the way to say yes, apart from all the techniques and everything and whatever we have learned here so far, different things work in different situation. But if we know how to understand the person psychologically, right, that is something which will make the magic here. And that's the power where how when we say some people are able to influence, they are actually able to persuade people a lot more compared to what we can do, is something which they are applying, right? And they are impacting the people, positively impacting the brains of the people by some
In
other
fact, I believe that when we be with the part of their solutions, no, when they have a problem and be part of with them, so you work along with them, they will definitely start helping.
Yeah.
And this is why the success story comes when everyone wins, no?
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I hugely appreciate all of you stayed around 19 minutes more. So thank you. I truly appreciate. I hope this was helpful. And as I said, my LinkedIn details are here. My number is also here. You can reach out to me at any particular point of time for any questions or for just a chit chat, even if you don't have a question, but always open to talk, always open to collaborate, always open to have a conversation and build the rapport. Thank you so much. And if you need the assessment, self-reflection along with the insights, you can ping me. I'll share that. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Varsha, for the thought-provoking lesson with the real-life examples. And thank you, GHRC, also for organizing excellent session.
Thank you.
Pankaj for joining. Thank you everybody for joining us on a Saturday and staying for so long. And thank you so much, Varsha. Again, I already mentioned it was really very engaging session. And yeah, I think we should call it a day.
Thank you all. Thanks.
Thank you all.
you.
Thank you
Bye-bye,
very much.
everybody.
Thank
Take
you
care.
very
Have a
much.
great weekend.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Varsha.
Have a nice weekend.
Nice.
Bye.
Yeah. A great learning session. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.